From Colonial Life Arena in Columbia, South Carolina, it's women's college basketball and a non-conference matchup. Today, the South Carolina Gamecocks play host to the Liberty Flames. I'm Dave Weinstein alongside the former Gamecock Brett Ball. A doubleheader today in Columbia with the women and the men, but it's the ladies leading off, the #1 team in the country. They're undefeated, had their eyes set on another national championship. Liberty has high expectations as well. Preseason #2 in their conference, Brett, so South Carolina won't take them lightly.
Absolutely. Coach Staley said that Liberty is very, very efficient on offense, and they play fast, and they want to get South Carolina wanted to get their bench production involved very, very quickly. But Liberty is coming off a 5-game-away road swing, and they know what their environment they're coming into, and that they want to keep their best players on the floor at all times.
Well, South Carolina has been excellent in the paint this season. Big reason why is the recent play of Kamilla Cardoso.
Absolutely. She's South Carolina player to watch, coming in 6'7", junior forward. Had a stellar performance versus Memphis with 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and she's what Coach Staley's call has turned a page. She's been consistent in the last 3 games and has shown more dominance and can really run the floor. LA even saying her praises, said, hey, when we get her the ball and we get her going, she can be very, very efficient for us.
Well, Liberty has a paint presence as well, an all-conference performer in Maya Berkman.
Absolutely. Maya Berkman, the player to watch for Liberty, 6'3", redshirt senior center, preseason first team all-conference, ranked #5 nationally, and field goals at 69%. She's only 1 rebound away from snagging 700 rebounds to be the 11th in the program history. She's been incredibly productive on the offensive end with 26 points against Minnesota just 2 games ago. And she's also, one thing that both teams have in common is that this is exam week, and she is a scholar athlete, ASUN Scholar Athlete of the Year, the first in Liberty's history. So she's one of the players that Coach Green talked about, just has to play smart and can't be passive, but they are going to need her and want her on the floor at all times.
Certainly will today, as she'll have to deal with Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston. It's Aaliyah's 21st birthday today.
Yes,
so
yes.
Happy birthday to Aaliyah.
Happy birthday to Aaliyah. This is amazing that she's accomplished so much in her career, and I think it's just 21st birthday.
21st. She can celebrate it legally.
Yeah.
And we're ready for the opening tip. It is controlled by South Carolina, and Kiera Fletcher running the show today for the Gamecocks. Graduate guard from Warren, Michigan. Lee Beal, good look inside to Boston. Quick 2 for Gamecocks.
Wow, what a great way to start off our birthday, getting the Gamecocks on the first on the board.
Kennedy Williams, your starting point guard for the Flames. Redshirt junior from Douglasville, Georgia, running the show, joined by Dee Brown, Berkman, Jordan Bailey, and Emma Hess. Hess has stepped up this season as the second leading scorer for the Flames. Williams loses the ball. She's got it back. 3 seconds on the shot clock for Liberty.
It's a great pressure by Fletcher, being on the point guard, cutting her vision down, and you got a deflection here by Zai Cook for shooting the gap.
This is Dee Brown off the back iron, and the rebound to Aaliyah Boston. Fletcher will look to push. Boston hits again. Aaliyah Boston has the first 4 points of the game.
Again, this is no surprise from SEC reigning player of the year, national player of the year, to get their team started early. And that's a great shot from her. You don't see her shoot too many times from that area, but she definitely has capabilities of knocking it down.
Boston coming up off a 14-10 game against Memphis, her second straight double-double. 66 of those now in her career. And will stay with Liberty. And it's not just against lesser opponents. 18-10 against UCLA. That was her 17th straight against a ranked opponent. Double-double at Stanford, at Maryland as well this season. Bailey hits for Liberty.
Number 22, she transferred from Old Dominion.
Bailey, redshirt junior from Colbert, Georgia. Beal working her way inside, runs out of room, so now it's Fletcher. She'll kick it out. Cook for 3. Off the mark, put the offensive board for Boston. And something that South Carolina does very well 10 seconds. Boston hands off to Fletcher. It's Boston from the foul line, in and out. And the offensive rebound for Beal. The putback is good as Bailey hit the deck.
Again, this is just a classic play from South Carolina. They make 48% of their second chance points. Over half of their points are from getting the rebounds and putting back and crashing the boards. That's part of their who they are as a team.
17.9 offensive rebounds per game, good for 8th in the nation. Bailey connects for Liberty. Bailey had a career-high 19 against East Carolina on November 26th. That was her only game off the bench this season. She's been a starter every other opportunity. Cook in the corner, feed inside to Saxton. The Flames converge on her. How about that shot from Victoria Saxton? She works her magic.
What an athletic move right there by Victoria Saxton, which you haven't heard from a lot in these past couple of games, but that is why she's on the floor. She's a solid player and that can finish and just have athletic finishes as such.
Driving, this is Williams. She is swatted away. Still can't get over that finish from Saxton. She's averaging just 4.8 per game. Preseason all SEC performer. There was a foul on the play. So Williams will head to the line. Drains the first. Williams, an excellent free throw shooter, 90% coming into today. Well, lane violation called on Liberty. So the Gamecocks lead 8-5. 4 of the 8 courtesy of the birthday girl, Leah Boston. Fletcher stops, pops, can't hit. And the rebound to Jordan Bailey. Williams tried to feed Berkman inside, but it's stolen. And the Gamecocks push in transition. Now they'll set up their half-court offense. Saxton, too strong. And another rebound for Jordan Bailey. Kennedy Williams coming off career high 21 points against Minnesota back on November 27th. It shattered her previous career high of 13. We're gonna have a whistle. And a foul that will go against Berkman, her first. Berkman is a player, Brett, that has to stay out of foul trouble today. She's the starting center, having to deal with Boston and Cardoso.
Absolutely. Coach Green talks about her being on the floor. This is not a game or any game for that where she can be passive. You want her on the floor.
A little passive there. She gave a window for Aaliyah Boston to get off her shot.
Yeah, Coach talked about how she has to play smart. You know, she has a huge role, a huge assignment tonight, and she has to be smart to stay out of foul trouble.
Williams backs it out. 10 seconds for Kennedy Williams. She finds Emma Hess. Berkman in the post against Boston. Berkman can't get off the shot. It'll be a shot clock violation. Tremendous defense from Aaliyah Boston.
Tremendous defense, and that was a good one-on-one play that you look for, that both teams want. And then the paint, Berkman and Boston going against each other, just not having awareness of the shot clock.
4 straight turnovers for Liberty. Ball's loose, a tie-up. Possession arrow in favor of the Flames. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. 4:56 left to go in the first. South Carolina has doubled up Liberty. They lead the Flames 10-5. And welcome back inside Colonial Life Arena. South Carolina leads Liberty 10-5 midway through the first quarter. Gamecocks undefeated this season. Liberty 3-4, an uncharacteristic start for the Flames. They've had a tough non-conference schedule. East Carolina and Minnesota. They did win their last game. It was a road win at Radford for their first true road victory of the season. But Brett, this is the preseason #2 team in the ASUN out of 14, and they're a veteran squad. A lot of players that are used to winning 28-5 last season.
Right. Like you said, a veteran squad coming in with a lot of experience. Coach particularly talked about Dee Brown, a very successful JUCO, two-time JUCO All-American and two-time Southern Conference Player of the Year, that she hasn't necessarily found her rhythm just yet, but he's hoping to get her in to be a little bit more productive on the offense. But she has the capability to do it. He says she just has a dog in her. She's super tough, and that's what you need, and that's what comes with veteran play. You have a lot of experience. You know what to do. You know kind of how to move with your teammates, and so, but yeah, overall, just a very veteran lineup. You have Emma Hess, even though she's a sophomore, she's coming in with a lot of experience as well, or a lot of productivity. She led the team in 18 3-pointers for the last 7 games, so despite her being a sophomore, she's still productive on the offensive side.
She's the youngest starter for Liberty. You mentioned
yep.
She's a sophomore, but listed the rest of their starters: Bailey, redshirt junior, Williams, redshirt junior, and Brown and Berkman, both redshirt seniors. An experienced team that knows how to win. Going to pull off the shocker today here in Columbia. Kennedy Williams drives on Fletcher. Here's Bailey. And Bailey has had the hot hands for Liberty. She now has 6.
Great shot for Bailey, just being ready to shoot. She's been active. She's been in the paint. She's knocking down jumpers from the outside. Liberty is going to need her to continue to be productive on offense.
Cook draws the foul on the other end. It's going to be the first on Kennedy Williams. So Zia Cook will head to the line, a 79% free throw shooter, senior guard from Toledo, Ohio. Mass substitutions coming as her teammates leave her at the foul line. Bree Hall checks in, Camila Cardoso checks in, Raven Johnson and Letitia Ami here as well. So Cook, the only starter that remains on the floor. She drains the first. Zia is the second leading scorer on the team, double digits in all but 2 games. That's the second one to go, and now she'll exit. So wholesale changes for the Gamecocks. Cooper checks in for Cook.
You know, Dave, it's going to be interesting to see how this unit plays together and plays against this team, the 5 that Liberty has on the floor right now. You see Bree Hall putting a little pressure on the point guard, Williams. And a little mismatch between Cardoso and Hess. A nice floater.
And the floater goes for Emma Hess, sophomore guard from Beaver Creek, Ohio, averaging 9.1 per game. Second leading scorer this season for the Flames. Hall, tough shot. It's the side of the backboard. And we're going to go the other way. Some pressure from the Gamecocks. Williams able to handle it. This is Steenbergen. Hess. 10 seconds to try to get it inside to Smuda. Smuda against Cardoso. Too strong, and Camila with the rebound for South Carolina. Raven Johnson looking to push. She stops, fires, and hits.
I think that's a great shot for Raven Johnson. She's been continuing to find her rhythm, her stroke after her injury, and I think that's a nice pull-up, a nice decision to come down to pull up for the jumper there.
Averaging 2.8 per game so far this season is Johnson, but she is the team leader in assists, more of a pass-first point guard. Off the glass, it doesn't go for Bailey. And here goes Johnson once again. Cooper for 3. That's good.
Great shot for Cooper. Those are the type of shots as a freshman that really boost your confidence. And she's been seeing a lot of minutes. And I think for her, she's been a little bit everywhere. She's been dribbling, she's been driving to the paint. But again, we haven't seen her too much out on the three-pointer, but for her to knock that type of shot down is, I think it will definitely boost her confidence.
That's her third make of the season. She's now 3 for 10 from behind the arc is Talaysia Cooper. Timeout Liberty, 2:35 left in the first quarter. For the Flames, preseason number 2 in the ASUN, as I mentioned, right behind last year's champ, Florida Gulf Coast. Coming off another tremendous season last year, 28-5. They were 14-2 in conference, made a trip to the WNIT. They've been great the past 3 seasons, 20-win season in 2020. They got robbed of the postseason by COVID, and 19-8 2 seasons ago, and the 28-win season last year. But really, they've been very good for the majority of Coach Green's 24 seasons, and they're looking to get back to the NCAAs for the first time since 2018. They were pretty much a regular from 2000 to 2018 under Coach Green, who's been there, as I mentioned, 24 years, 14 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 WNITs, including last season. Coach Green, 19th among active D1 women's basketball coaches in winning percentage. 2 winning programs on the court today. Berkman inside, she finishes.
Great job, great finish by Berkman. Just because she could sense that mismatch between her and Raven Johnson, and she took advantage of it, and she was able to be productive on the boards for Liberty.
Cooper, a tough shot, had to go over Markova. Cardoso can't finish. Another opportunity. It's Hall. She'll draw the foul.
Again, that's what we're talking about with Carolina, second chance points. With someone like Cardoso's height, I mean, the second chance points are always a little tough to get when you don't have an opponent to match her height. But again, that's what works with South Carolina, and that's why they're 48% of their scoring comes from second chance points.
Hall drains the first, coming into today a 64% free throw shooter. Bree's been really good this season. Her scoring's up, her numbers are up, her minutes are up. 9 minutes a game last year, 16.5 so far this year. She continues to contribute for the Gamecocks. Jordan Hodges now running the point. She wears number 0 for Liberty. Markova finds Hodges. 10 seconds, Hodges for 3, off the mark. Fight for the rebound, it's Amie here who wrestles it away, and she's gonna be fouled by Markova. First foul on the redshirt junior from Latvia. (19-11). Gamecock lead with 1:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Cardoso inside.
Great
Just
finish.
impossible to stop.
Yeah, impossible to stop. It's great finish. And then again, we have to give credit Raven for seeing the ball and also seeing her open and also getting her the ball where the ball needs to be. And Coach talks about that a lot, where you got to put the ball where it needs to be, and then the player that you're trying to get it to has to meet the ball. And Raven does a great job with that.
So I'll pop up on the screen the differential in points in the paint, 12-4. 503 paint points for the Gamecocks coming into today. 61% of the offense coming from that space. They were dominant in the paint against Memphis. And we'll go the other way. Offensive foul on Cardoso.
I have to say, smart play by Berkman. I mean, she knows what she's working with. She's seen really two different matchups between starting out with Boston and now Cardoso. And I think that was a great way for her to just get in position. Teams are doubling down on her, and she took advantage of it.
Well, there is some size on the floor for Liberty to deal with Cardoso. Berkman goes 6'3", Markova 6'2". Smuda, who we've already seen, goes 6'5". There are some players for Liberty that can deal with Cardoso, and Boston's about staying out of foul trouble and just not letting them have such great position close to the basket.
You're absolutely right. It's about positioning, and that's what Berkman did on the last play where she's got the charge. She understood the position that she was in.
This is Dee Brown. She drives, and she'll draw the foul. I believe that's going to be on Bree Hall. Oh, it's on Tisha Mehier. Check that. Her first. Her second. Second on a Mehier.
Dee Brown is one of the players that Coach Green talked about before. Again, a JUCO transfer from Miami-Dade College.
It is the first on a Mehier.
And he talked about the aggressive play, and you can see that with that last drive, that she just is an aggressive player. He said she has a dog in her. She's tough, and he's looking forward to her just being a little bit more productive, even more productive on the offensive side.
She doesn't make many mistakes. There's great value in her intensity that doesn't show up on the stat line, he told us. Nice drive from Talasia Cooper.
Great play by Talasia. Again, you can find her on the three-point line or driving to the basket. That just really shows, again, that McDonald's All-American athleticism that she has.
Cooper coming into today averaging 3.7 per game, so she's ahead of that total here in the first quarter. This is Berkman, 3 seconds against Cardozo. Take us to the end of the first quarter. An impressive first quarter for the Gamecocks. 23 points as they lead Liberty 23-13. We'll be back right back with quarter number 2. And welcome back inside Colonial Life Arena. South Carolina leads Liberty 23-13. Gamecocks shooting 56% in the first quarter. Liberty not bad at 45%. Think about the South Carolina offense this season. Gone is Destiny Henderson, so new players running the point, but still playing up-tempo in transition more to eliminate some of the sag and zone they could possibly see from opponents this season. They're pushing the ball down the floor, capitalizing in transition before the defense is set up, taking good shots. Coach Taylor said, we know what a good shot is and what a bad shot is. It's just let the ball find who should shoot the ball and where the ball should go, and they've been doing that. And oftentimes it's been inside the players like Boston and Cardozo.
Absolutely. We said inside. South Carolina already has 14-4 points in the paint. And again, getting the ball to those post players, playing an inside game. That's what South Carolina is about, getting into the bigs. They really have a higher chance of scoring because they're closer to the basketball, but they're also skilled as well. So, yes, absolutely, just being productive inside the paint.
Thanks, Coach Staley, in the 15th season. National champions last season, looking to repeat here in the 2022-2023 season. They're off to a good start, 8-0. Several top 25 wins. Boston finds Saxton inside.
Great pass by Boston, gets finished by Saxton. Again, you see the similarities with Raven and Cardozo earlier, just getting the lob. First of all, the post players get in a position, and then their teammates knowing how to get the ball to them.
Really good with that high-low action. We've seen it with Boston and Cardozo. That time was Boston and Saxton.
Yeah, you see a lot with a high-low action. When Boston goes high, Saxton will go low, or vice versa. And it works really well. And again, the guards and their teammates know when they're still on the backside, lob it up, and they're athletic enough to go grab the ball.
It's a second foul on Berkman. She remains on the floor early in the second quarter. Look from the corner. That's Cook, no good. Williams checked by Cook. 1 against 1. And number 1 gives way to number 21, Steenbergen. Now Dee Brown. 5 seconds for Brown. Bailey will have to hurry. Tough shot. just ran out of time, and she had Saxton all over her.
Yeah, the South Carolina defense has been quite smothering on each possession. In the last couple, Liberty's turnovers have been due to shot clock violation. Just, again, the inability, the smothering defense and their inability to get a good shot off.
They rank first in Division I in opponents' scoring average and in blocks per game. A turnover on offense. Now the Gamecocks will set up their defense. Williams in no hurry. Just 3 points last game at Radford for Williams. She drives on Fletcher. Can't get it to go. And the rebound to Aaliyah Boston.
That's a nice aggressive drive to try to get to the basket. That's what you have. That's what Liberty has to do. Wow.
How about that circus shot from Zaya Cook?
Circus shot number 2 for the Gamecocks.
And we saw one from Saxton earlier. Now Cook. Gamecock lead is 14. This is Berkman. All 5 starters still on the floor for South Carolina here in the second quarter. Bree Beal loses possession, so it's Liberty the other way. And Bailey up ahead. Can't finish, but there's Berkman with the follow-up.
Good follow-up by Berkman. I should say good follow-up and finish by Berkman.
In and out. And the rebound to Dee Brown. Berkman now has 4. 2 fouls. They need her on the floor, Brett.
Absolutely, that's what Coach Green talked about her play. As you can see her now, she's fighting for position. It's not a game to be passive.
Bailey has been the top scorer so far for Liberty.
She's been doing a phenomenal job for Liberty. Again, just getting the ball in the basket. You've seen her, again, everywhere. In the paint, at the free throw line, shooting from the field, shooting from short jumpers. She's been super productive for Liberty.
Speaking of productive, there's Zaya Cook with the 3.
There she is. That's a shot that you know that she definitely can knock down. Coming into this game, she had the most field goal attempts, coming in at 89. So she's not afraid to knock that shot down.
36% three-point shooter coming into today. Bailey, who already has 8. Off the mark, Berkman with the offensive board. Another opportunity for the Flames. Not a great pass. It's stolen by Bree Beal. Beal is rejected by Kennedy Williams, but there's the follow-up from Fletcher.
Again, that follow-up from Fletcher. Great shot by Bree Beal, but Fletcher for the cleanup. And again, goes to the second point shot.
Timeout Liberty as South Carolina has opened up a 32-17 lead here in quarter number 2. We're going to take the time out as well. 5:39 left to go in the half. It's the largest lead for the Gamecocks, 32-17, 5:39 remaining in the second quarter. The shooting percentage going down for Liberty. It was at 45.5%, Brett, after the first quarter, but they're only shooting 28% here in quarter number 2.
Right. And again, this is a smothering defense from South Carolina. As you can see earlier, they had difficulties getting shots off from the smothering defense, and a lot of their turnovers have been due to shot clock violation, cannot get a good look. However, number 22, Bailey, has been productive for Liberty, where, our player to watch was Berkman. I think she's been really preoccupied with the other post players in Cardosa and Boston and even Saxton. But Bailey has definitely stepped up to lead his team in scoring. His 2 steals, has been productive on the rebound, on the boards as well. So it'll be interesting to see what she produces for the rest of the game for Liberty.
South Carolina's on a 15-6 run in the last 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And their offense has been spread. 9 players have scored for the Gamecocks. Just 4 players have scored for Liberty. As you mentioned, Bailey leading the way with 8. Berkman has 4. Let me check that 5 players have scored for Liberty. Williams, a nice feed to Smuda. Rolls around the rim, no good. Beal passes on the three. They'll swing it around. A whistle. A foul that's going to be called on Cardoso. That's her second.
Looks like she was trying to set a screen on the outside of the zone.
So Camila exits and Sanaya Fagan checks in, the sophomore guard from Ellenwood, Georgia. Fagan had a nice game against Memphis. Last time we saw her, Brett, 11 points against the Tigers.
Yeah, and Fagan's one of those players that we talked about before. Is just incredibly mentally tough because she has the ability to really, Met Gowns All-American, extremely talented, but she's just been continuing to develop and really waiting for her time. I mean, she's been seeing way more minutes, and you can see she has the ball now.
There she was in the post, but an offensive foul that was drawn by Bailey.
It was an offensive foul, and again, this is taking experience for her to understand what the defense is reading and giving to her. But she's extremely athletic, extremely strong, and she can make those shots, and she can be smart and finish those. She looks great with the basketball, having the basketball there in that position. But Fagan is, I will say, definitely a player to watch out for in the future as she continues to develop into the player that she can be, to the best version of herself as an athlete.
She was the number 4 overall player in the class of 21. Shot off the mark from Steenbergen, but she gets the offensive rebound. She'll drive on Cooper. Cook, a quick step. Off the glass, no good, but she draws the foul. It's going to be the first on Jordan Bailey.
It's a nice drive for Zia Cook. That's what she does as well. She can knock down the three, and you often see her going to the basket.
Audrey Clark checks in for Liberty. She replaces Steenbergen. Zia Cook, preseason All-SEC selection. It's the first. She's been All-SEC the last 2 seasons. Second team last year, first team as a sophomore. This is the second. The rebound from Watkins. Smuda in some trouble. A whistle and a foul is going to be called. I believe this will be on Jordan Bailey.
Great hustle play. Again, this is smothering defense from South Carolina that's making it difficult for them to get the ball down the floor, cutting down their vision. As you can see, even on defense, they have Watkins on at the top of the zone to cut down the vision for Liberty.
Bailey has to check out. She picks up her second. She's been the best player so far for Liberty with 8 points. So Berkman and Bailey both with 2 fouls. And a turnover here for the Gamecocks. Liberty has missed their last 5 shots to try to get something going here on offense. Smuda was asking for it in the post. Instead, it's going to be a foul on the Flames. Audrey Clark picks up her first, the redshirt junior from Virginia. This is Zia Cook. Stops, fires, gets the roll.
And that's her shot. That's what Zia Cook has the capabilities of doing, driving, pulling up or driving and taking it to the basket. But right there, she read the defense and made the best decision to knock down that jumper.
She can really fill it up. 15.9 to lead the team as a sophomore, 10.7 last year, 12.6 so far this year. Clark runs out of room. Kennedy Williams, 5 seconds. The floater is good. Sweet
Nice.
shot from Williams.
Nice floater from Williams. And she's been extremely active in this entire game, just being the floor general, keeping her head up, and trying to get the ball onto the open man.
They get it inside to Fagan. Can't convert. A second opportunity, and she's fouled. Maybe on the back of her head.
Yeah, it looks like there was some aggressive play. She may have gotten hit.
Smuda picks up her first, and that'll send Sanaya Fagan to the line. Fagan, a very good free throw shooter this season, 93%. Can't hit the first. Take another look at the foul on Smuda. Fagan hits the second. Letitia Mihir checks back in for South Carolina. Jordan Hodges back in for Liberty, replacing Kennedy Williams. Hodges at just 5'6", being checked by Mihir at 6'4". That's difficult.
Yeah, it's
giving up that many inches.
Yeah, it's definitely a mismatch there.
And so the steal from Fagan. Takes it herself and draws the foul. Foul's going to be called on Jordan Hodges, her first. Sanaya Fagan will head back to the line.
I think in that moment, Fagan may have gotten a little bit faster than the ball, but again, she has capabilities of going coast to coast.
Fagan had a career-high 15 in the opener against ETSU. I already mentioned the 11 last game against Memphis. First-team All-American as a senior in high school. Top recruit. Seeing some time here in year number 2 with South Carolina.
Yeah, we talked about her similarities to Henderson and having to not getting that much playing time the first 2 years, but staying true and trusting the process and understanding that her time is coming and understanding what the bench lineup, who the players that she has technically in front of her, but continuing to learn from coach, to stay, to develop, because when her time comes, she's going to be ready.
She's certainly part of a bright future here at South Carolina, but she's also a big part of the present.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
She'll take a seat as she picks up her second foul. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Liberty. Clark feeds Berkman inside, who's back in with 2 fouls. And a turnover for the Flames.
Again, another turnover due to the clock shot, running down, just not having enough time to get the good open look to score.
Boston's in, but she's being checked by Smuda instead of Berkman. Now it's Berkman on Boston on the switch. The block from Smuda. The follow-up is there for Ashlyn Watkins, and one.
Again, another second chance points, and Watkins again just there to clean it up. And she's been having she's been a little quiet as she's been on the floor, but again, a steady, solid player that you can count on to get a rebound and a putback just like that.
Freshman forward from right here in Columbia. Can't finish the three-point play. The rebound is tracked down by Emma Hess. Only 2 points for Hess, the team's second leading scorer. She's a dangerous three-point shooter. Cook gives her no room. Another turnover for the Flames.
Another turnover, but that was a great move. Good movement by 15. Clark moving without the ball. Nice curl. The teammate just could not get it to connect to her, resulting in a turnover.
Coach Green looking for some answers. He told us, hey, South Carolina, they have superior physical talent, size, and speed. Some people overlook their transition speed and the efficiency of South Carolina. They get a lot of points out of that. But they get so many more shots in their own misses, their offensive rebounding. He said it's just terrible for the opposing defensive team that they get so many of their misses. Defensive transition, keeping them off the boards is the key today for Liberty. He said if we can't, it won't be a good day for the opponent of South Carolina.
Yeah, he talked about that. Being consistent is something they've done on games before this game, being the 5th game, last game of their whirlwind swing. But being able to do what they've done in the games before, including being on the boards.
There's Hess off the mark. Now the feed from Hodges to Hess can't convert. And the follow-up is there for Berkman.
Great finish by Berkman. I know she's been struggling early on in the game, just in the game thus far, of getting off a good shot, a good finish, good follow-up by the entire team of Liberty, getting second chance points, but good follow-up by Berkman to finish.
Berkman, the team's leading scorer, 14.6 per game, 68% free throw shooter. Finishes the three-point play. She became the 20th 1,000-point scorer in Liberty history against Minnesota.
Great shot by Bree Hall.
Hall responds with the three. The lead is back to 20 for the Gamecocks.
As you can see, they still are doing full court press, getting pressure on the ball in the front court, or in the back court, rather.
Berkman will drive on Boston. Loses the ball, and it'll be another turnover for the Flames. I believe that's their 12th. Okay. Gamecocks can hold for the final shot of the second quarter to add to a 20-point lead. Raven Johnson rolls around the rim, no good. Fight for the loose ball and rebound to Smuda. And that'll do it for the first half here in Columbia. A dominant first half from the Gamecocks. A 20-point lead, Brett, 42-22 over Liberty.
Absolutely, that's come from a lot of pressure from South Carolina early in the game. Just cutting off the vision and making it very, very difficult for Liberty to score.
So we'll head out to break. South Carolina leads Liberty 42-22 at the half. Welcome back. It's halftime here in Columbia. South Carolina leads Liberty 42-22. Dave and Brett with you. And when we talked with Coach Green, he talked about consistency being a superpower.
Yep.
And that's something that they've really struggled with this season. But he says every team needs consistency, right? Even South Carolina, who looks like the national champion on most nights, every once in a while they look beatable. But he wants his team to be more consistent. We haven't seen that in the first half because they shot really well in the first quarter, but not so much in the second quarter.
Absolutely, you're right. And that's something that he harped on, is that you can't afford to not be inconsistent against a team like South Carolina. And again, you can see it with the turnovers. Just the inability to recognize the shot clock, as we mentioned before, inability to, again, get the finish at the basket, inability to get the shots and the looks that they want to. But Coach talked about how important that is and how important that 5-game road swing that they've been on is important to get that, to prepare them for conference play, for their conference. Yeah.
Well, this is the toughest of the 5. They'd like to come back in the second half. We're going to take a look at some highlights from the first half. First, starting with the Liberty Flames. They had a good first quarter, shot 45.5% from the field. Not so much in the second quarter, 26.7. Emma Hess, the second leading scorer for the Flames. Haven't gotten her involved all that much. She only has 2 points. There's your player to watch, Brett and Berkman.
Right, and there he is. You see her cleaning up shots from Bailey. Bailey really started off great for Liberty, just getting them on the boards early and just being found everywhere, honestly. In the paint, at the free throw line, at the mid-range jumper.
Bailey has 8 to lead the way for the Flames. Berkman has 7. The Gamecocks have been doing it offensively. It was Boston early and often in the first quarter.
Right, Dave, as you can see, just some high-low action. Again, Boston getting on the boards early, getting points in the paint. That's a great jump shot for her. And a nice cleanup.
And South Carolina has been the more consistent offensive team. Shot 52.9% in the first, 46.7% in the second. But it's been balanced scoring. They've played 12 players from their roster. They have 11 different scorers as opposed to Liberty, who played 10 players and only had 5 scorers, all their starters.
Again, it goes to our theme of talking about bench production and their ability to get on the floor and score and be productive and continue to move the rhythm of the game without skipping a beat. As you can see, there is some nice high-low action. And Raven Johnson, as a point guard, as you should, be able to see the open man, particularly your bigs, and getting them the ball and that nice high-low action. And again, as you can see here, rebuild with the steal, shooting the gap. Fletcher is there to clean up and finish the basket.
Almost half of the points for South Carolina from the bench. 18 of the 42 starters have been efficient as well. And players like Cooper getting involved, freshman guard, from right here in South Carolina. And Coach Staley talked about the bench production in her media availability. She said, you know, we want them to get up and going. We've been working with a unit this week that hopefully will play with a lot of energy. Cooper, Watkins, Fagan said, hey, we're asking for more from them. Certainly Camila Cardoso, who's the SEC Player of the Week, has turned the page. But she wants the others to step up even more and just be a part of someone else's scouting report. She said, I want other teams to have to prepare for 13 players.
You know, and that's really huge. That's a really good goal, as we talked about the bench players being a threat to the team, to the opposing team. And you do that by being productive on the floor, being a threat to score. And like you said, when you are there, you get on other teams' scouts and you become part of their practice plans as a plan to be able to stop them. And that's what every player wants to be able to contribute to their team, but also be a threat to the other team in terms of scoring and productivity.
Under 10 for D. Brown. No space, Saxton all over Brown. There's Bailey for 3. Off the mark, the rebound for Hess. But she loses control, and it's South Carolina the other way. Berkman and Bailey both have 2 fouls for Liberty. We'll see if South Carolina goes at those 2. That time it's Zia Cook. She continues her hot shooting.
Again, that's a great shot for Zia Cook. She has the ability, again, to just body control, dribbling really fast, and then pull up with the jumper and then still make it. She also has the ability to take it all the way, but that's a great shot for her to read the defense.
Cook has 12. Boston with the rebound. Williams tried to take it away from Fletcher. Instead, it's Kiera the other way. Kicks it to the corner. That's Cook. In and out. And the rebound to Emma Hess. Liberty would love to get Hess involved. She hit 3 triples in the first half in the last game at Radford. Led the Flames in threes last year as a freshman. Another turnover. This is Fletcher. Oh, terrific feed to Zia Cook.
Nice pass by Fletcher. Just great court awareness. Great court awareness to see her teammate on the other side.
First assist for Fletcher. Cook has 14. And it will stay with Liberty. South Carolina, 10 assists on 18 made field goals. That last assist going to Fletcher. Fletcher only averages 1.4 per game. She's more of the score-first point guard than Raymond Johnson.
Yeah, she is. And also Fletcher, again, has good experience, good court awareness. Even in the 2 possessions ago when she was coming in transition and she saw Zia Cook on the opposite corner, just knowing where to get the ball at the best time to get it there.
Beal at first said she got a piece of that, and then they said it's going to be South Carolina ball, and Beal put her hands down real quick.
Yeah, that's just like, I'll take that.
So no deflection for Beal, even though she might have deflected it. There's Bree in the corner. Saxton Has it stripped. Some nice hands from Williams. Boston hands off to Fletcher. Beal in the corner. That's good.
Great
and
shot.
the foul.
Great shot for Boudreaux. She's have had plenty of looks like that before, and she's knocked it down. And again, this is a good shot for her.
And the third foul for Maya Berkman. That's bad news for the Flames. Let's see if they go to Boston the post to go at Berkman and try to pick up 4 here.
And this was.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go. This is what we talked about with Coach before of her foul trouble. Great shot by Boston. But with Berkman, it's what we talked about before with Coach with her foul trouble and how he says she has to be on the floor and she has to still, this type of game, she can't afford to play passive, but now she's with 3 fouls in the third quarter. This requires her to play a lot smarter.
Brown can't hit. There's Berkman off the glass. No good. Kept alive by Fletcher. She saved it to Boston. Here's Kiera the other way. Fletcher with the left hand.
Great hustle play. That's what you want out of your point guard. Save the ball, get right back into the game, and get it to the people that needs to have it.
Boston strong inside. She'll draw the foul. And if that's on Berkman, it'll be 4. Let's see. It won't be. It'll be on Bailey. And Bailey picks up her third. Wholesale changes for Liberty. 5 new Flames check in. So Coach Green pulls his starters, trailing 51-22 here with 6:28 to go in the third. Takes them all out, Brett.
Yeah.
All at once. Is that just not being happy with their performance?
No, it could be a number of things, probably maybe getting a little breather to put them back in for the rest of the third quarter. And also could just be a different look or a different unit.
Well, Boston has 10 points, 5 boards. Steenbergen. This is Audrey Clark. Smuda against Boston. Boston can't believe the call. She's furious, as is this crowd here inside Colonial Life Arena.
Yeah, she is does not like the call, nor does the crowd.
Or Coach Staley.
Or Coach Staley.
Aaliyah picks up her second. And sends Bella Smuda to the line, the redshirt sophomore from Pennsylvania. 52% free throw shooter coming in. Let's take another look. What do you think, Brett?
I'm not sure. Her hands were straight up, but she was moving, so we trust the refs on this one.
The lead is 30. Cook gets around Steenbergen. Zia Cook. Off the glass, no good.
This is very athletic play with Zia to do, a classic Euro step between the defense, but just need that one to connect. But we know she has the capability of finishing those shots.
Markova trying to get it to Smuda inside, the connection not there. Tisha Mihir will check in for the Gamecocks. She replaces Kiera Fletcher, so we'll see Mihir running the point now for South Carolina. 6'4" guard / forward playing the point.
Yeah, and Mihir played a lot in that position last year and did a phenomenal job.
Defense from Markova. Mihir, who had 10 points last game against Memphis. Has it inside. She's double teamed, but a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, and as we've seen throughout the game, anytime a Carolina, a white jersey gets in the paint, they're doubling down. They're making sure that they're making it very difficult for that post player to score. We've seen it with Boston. We've seen it with Cardoso. We've seen it with Beal. Anytime a South Carolina player gets the ball in the paint, Liberty red jerseys are coming down to double down.
Me here misses the first. The foul's on Steenbergen, the freshman guard from the Netherlands. Number 21. One of two for Ami here. Markova. Now Steenbergen. A couple of international players on the floor for Liberty. Driving is Clark.
I think Clark may have altered her shot a little bit there.
Well, that'll take us to immediate timeout. 4:56 left to go in the third quarter. All Gamecocks, they lead Liberty 54-23. Welcome back here inside Colonial Life Arena. It's December, it's the holiday season. Gamecocks lead Liberty 54-23. Liberty will need some gifts here. They're gonna come back in the second half, but
yeah, they just have to continue to maintain turnovers, you know, sitting at 14. And it's just really tough to be productive and keep up with 14 turnovers. And haven't had the best luck with shooting. Fogo's been 0 for 6. Again, it's just very tough to be able to score when you're turning the ball over and not being able to knock down the shots. But I think they've done a great job of maintaining, still trying to get looks, getting the ball inside, just having trouble connecting.
One good sign for South Carolina so far. They have to criticize them at all this season. They do. You have to do it with a microscope. You wonder a little bit about their three-point shooting. Will it be there, towards the back half of an NCAA tournament, the Final Four, as Boston finishes off the glass? The last 3 games, they haven't shot well from 3, but today they're 4 for 10.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's something to question with the inconsistency there. You're not sure if someone's going to have a great game or if someone's not. But that's something to think about and for Carolina to look at actually, moving forward, especially going into into conference play.
Yeah, the last 3 games they were 5 for 31. Against Memphis, they really didn't need to hit any threes. They were so dominant in the paint. But they're going to have to hit some threes against some of the top opponents this season, especially as we get into SEC play and the NCAA tournament. 4 of them so far. There's Boston with the steal, and Cook up ahead.
And you can also argue because their inside game is so strong that, has alleviated the need to be able to knock down shots. But any team that's going to be successful has to be able to, knock down those field goals from the 3.
Foul's going to go against Markova. Picks up her second. So those 4 threes so far for South Carolina. 4 different players, 1 for Cook, 1 for Beal, 1 for Cooper, and 1 for Hall.
And these are players that you're expecting to knock down those shots, especially Cook. You see Cooper has the ability to knock down a shot as well. Beal as well, and Bree Hall.
In and out for Cardoso, the SEC Player of the Week, coming off an 18-point performance against Memphis, 10 rebounds, her second double-double of the year. The first one was against Hampton. Just missed one against UCLA. She was 16 and 9 in that one. Camila's numbers certainly up this season, 5.4 per game last year, 10.9 already this season. Shot off the mark from Bailey. Trying to get it inside to Beal. Dribble back out. Cook resets the offense. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Cook pulls up for 3. That's good.
Speaking of 3-pointers, great shot for Zia Cook.
17 points for Cook. Her season high is 18. That was at Maryland. Tough shot for Bailey. And the rebound to Cardoso. Steenbergen went for the steal. Me here. The feed to Cardoso. Can't finish. Fighting for the rebound, and she's fouled.
Again, great court awareness by Laeticia Meteor. She could have easily went up for that shot, but she saw Cardoso there with her hands just as close to the basket, and try to get it to her to connect. And South Carolina's going to need Cardoso to be aggressive to be able to finish those type of shots.
She'll head back to the line. Came over to South Carolina from Syracuse. A couple of seasons ago, the ACC Co-Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman. ACC Freshman of the Year, All ACC First Team. What a get she is for Coach Staley.
Absolutely, she just adds to the bigs lineup. She just creates again a broader, larger presence for their post players. And like Coach said, and even when Ami here saying her praises, when she gets going, when she gets going, it just has a ripple effect on the entire team.
And the Twin Towers are in together for Carolina, Cardoso and Boston. Hodges pulls up off the mark. This one is off of Gamecocks.
I have to say that was a great shot for Hodges. As you can see before, she had a little Steph Curry movement going on, where she was just constantly moving, having Zai Cook to have to just chase her around, and it ended up making her open for a shot that she really could have knocked down. But great job by Hodges for moving without the ball.
Had 2 points in 13 minutes off the bench last game at Radford. 24 games as the backup point guard last year. She's in that role again this season. But right now she's paired with Williams, so both point guards in for Liberty. Coach Green just trying to find a combination here. This is Flames trail 61-23. There's Coach Green. Long-time Liberty head coach, 24 seasons. 16 of those with his top assistants. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Bree Beal. Bree picks up her first. We asked Coach Green about those assistants as we take another look at the foul from Bree.
Yeah,
we said, hey, we're like-hearted. Fame, fortune is overcome by quality of life. Not that we're paying them tons of money, but in the rat race of athletics and turnover, they're just different, his assistants. Could have moved on, no doubt. They had so much success at Liberty. He said, I've tried to utilize them as much as possible. We share scouting together, recruiting together. It's been a family affair at Liberty. He even told us, hey, not every brother and sister gets along all the time, but they respect each other, and he's been really blessed to be with like-spirited people. He says they compliment me, and I see something, and before I can even say it, they've already said it.
And that's so important to have that chemistry on your coaching staff, because I always believe that the team is a reflection of the coaching. The team environment is a reflection of the coaching staff and their relationships amongst each other.
Here tried to go over Berkman. And we'll go the other way. Foul's going to be on Laeticia Meteor. She picks up her second.
But the relationship between their coaching staff, like you said, is a direct reflection of their success for over 16 years. You can see a similar reflection with South Carolina coaching staff. Coach Staley and Coach Boyer have definitely been together well over 30 years, coaching her in the ABL and now coaching with her for 20 plus years, and college basketball starting at Temple. So again, I don't think the crowd was too happy with that call.
Amir is going to pick up her third. But yeah, Coach Boyer, she's been the top assistant on a Dawn Staley-led staff from 2002 to present. So both these coaching staffs have been together for quite a while. And me here can't believe it. Berkman to the line. Coming into today, a 68% free throw shooter. Preseason All-ASUN selection. She was first-team All-ASUN last year. Finished third in the nation in field goal percentage, and she's up there again this season. 69% coming into today. You talked about it in the open, Brett, how efficient she is.
Absolutely. Efficiency, again, being preseason first team, and efficiency on the floor and off the floor. Coach Green talked about her academics and how she's working, already has a bachelor's in accounting, and now working on her master's in accounting.
Inside to Boston. And whistle on a foul that's going to be called on Berkman. She picks up her fourth. Maya Berkman hasn't fouled out yet this season, but she's had 4 fouls now in each of the last 5 games, including today. Matching up against Boston and Cardozo, they're going to accumulate quickly. We asked Coach Green about that as your top player going against theirs. How do you keep her on the floor? And she's going to have to come off here with 4 fouls. He said, she's got to play smart. At the end of the day, I want her to have 4 fouls again, but not foul out. Just match their intensity and strength. Because if you're not aggressive and you're sitting back, you're not going to be successful. You just can't pick up the silly fouls. Can't pick up, 2 in a 4-minute span. You need her on the floor as much as possible.
And to Berkman's credit, I mean, she's done she's been working, this game. It may not have been effective or showing up on the stats board, but she's been moving. And when you're playing up against Cardoso, Boston, Beal, it can wear on you.
Too strong for Hess. And so Cook looks to push up ahead to Amihir. Amihir finishes off the glass.
Great finish by Amihir, and it really started with Zia Cook seeing her moving in transition and getting her the ball. Although Amihir fumbled with it a little bit, she was able to get the finish.
A big height advantage over the 5'6" Hodges. Bailey will drive. She's rejected by Boston. Boston coming into today averaging 1.6 blocks per game.
Yeah, definitely, again, the presence of the post. Cardoso, Amihir, again, all have the ability to just long arms, and it's just make it very tough to score over them.
That's the first field goal of the quarter for Liberty. All their points this quarter have come on free throws. Bailey stops the streak.
You can see some high-low action there.
Boston pulls up, too strong off the back iron. Cardoso with the rebound, trying to tip it back. She does to Amihir.
A little volleyball there.
Cook in the corner. That's good. Zia Cook gets another one.
Great shot for Zia Cook. Again, she just has that ability when she gets going to knock it down, and the crowd loves it.
20 points for Zia Cook. Her third 3. Williams pulls up. Too strong. Boston with the rebound. And that'll do it for the third quarter. South Carolina pads their lead. They lead Liberty 67-28. Gamecocks and Amihir to Cook. She buries the 3. Well, it's takeover day here inside Colonial Life Arena. Doing some PA work, some sports info, handing out the stats along the announcer's table, social media, even working with the band. Some photography action. Future Gamecock cheerleader. And of course, operating the camera as well. Brett, what would a younger version of you choose if you had any of those options?
I'm on the camera.
You're on the camera?
Yeah, I'm on the camera, for sure. I love seeing this, because you just never know this type of exposure at this age, what it could inspire you to do. you know, what you see yourself doing. You could something that can really spark and say, hey, you know, I want to be on camera, or I don't, you know, I didn't never know that this role existed. So I love to see it.
No cheerleading?
Yeah, you know, Dave, I'll leave that to them. Yeah.
Fair enough. As a kid, I used to memorize the back of baseball cards. I'll go with sports info.
Oh, yeah?
Inside, that's Fagan. She's met. Fagan, Watkins, Cooper all in. The youngsters for the Gamecocks, and it's Fagan off the glass.
Again, nice cleanup by Fagan. You can see Watkins, she's chuckling a little bit. She's like, I'm not sure what happened there, but my teammate cleaned it up for me.
Hodges weaves her way into the paint, now back out. This is Bailey. 5 seconds for Williams. Spins. They're not going to get a shot off.
Again, I just love this possession for Carolina, because it shows with this rotation, this lineup, that, you know, they're not skipping a beat. That I think the oldest experience here on the floor right now you have as a sophomore, and Raven Johnson and Sanaya, and it's great for them to get this look and breathe. And you have sophomores and freshmen on the floor, and it's great for them to get this look, so this prepares them for conference play.
In the corner, this is Bree Hall. In and out. Watkins, and one.
Great finish by Watkins. That's what the team is going to need her to do, and she has a very much capability of doing that, being able to finish, keeping her hands up, not bringing the basketball down, but again, still just using her athleticism to finish and the foul.
She's a really strong player inside, athletic. First Gamecock to dunk, did so at Clemson. Has a double-double already in her freshman season. That was at Cal Poly. She's averaging 12.8 minutes per game and 7.3 points per game, so that's really efficient, 7.3.
Absolutely.
12 minutes.
Absolutely, for a freshman to be again getting this experience and then be productive on the floor. And even when she's not scoring, she again is moving. She's creating havoc for the offense on defense by the other teams needing to occupy and keep an eye on her because of her athleticism and her size.
She missed the free throw, but the rebound to South Carolina. Hall on the drive. She's bothered by Smuda. Kennedy Williams. Markova. Dee Brown's had a quiet day. Latvian Markova. Hodges with 5 seconds from three. In and out.
It was a great shot, though just didn't get it to connect.
Johnson on the drive was swatted by Markova. Markova made her first career start after an East Carolina game. 7 games, 1 start this season. Fagan with the left hand. Brown will drive. She is swatted by Fagan.
Again, going into the land of the Giants with South Carolina Gamecock.
Take another look at the block from Fagan. Brown just 5'9", Fagan 6'3". Hodges kicks it out. Williams, fancy pass back to Hodges. Her shot's deflected. That was Watkins. Fagans throws it right to Berkman.
Again, got to slow down a little bit just to kind of assess the floor. and see where the open man is.
Through the hands of Hall to Berkman. A whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Sanaya Fagan, her third. Maya Berkman will head to the line. Her team trailing 73-28. Berkman, a 5-year player. You mentioned her intelligence earlier, Brett. BA in accounting in 2021, an MA in accounting in 2022, currently working toward her MBA.
MBA, yeah.
Another look at the hard foul from Fagan. And it's allowed here inside CLA, and Berkman spoils the opportunity for Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A's on the line. It's worth the noise.
Fagan squares in and out. Kennedy Williams led Flames in assists each of the last 2 years. Nice finish off the glass.
Great job by Kennedy Williams. Again, she's really been the floor general for Liberty the entire game. And it's good to see her connect.
Bree Hall responds on the other end. Williams tried to slice through two Gamecocks. Here's the feed to Berkman, working inside.
Good to see Berkman on the boards. On the scoreboard, that is.
Berkman has 13. Johnson feeds Fagan.
Beautiful, classic, textbook pick and roll. Great job again by Johnson reading the defense, and Fagan continued to move.
8 points now for Sanaya Fagan. Pass gets away from Hodges. So we'll go the other way. Emma Hess checking back in for the Flames. She replaces Jordan Hodges. Hess had a career-high 17 points against Hampton, a team that Gamecocks played as well. Hit 5 threes in that one. Haven't been able to get Hess going today. Bree Hall. Johnson sets up the play. Thought about it from 3. Instead, it's Cooper on the drive. She feeds Fagan for the easy bucket.
Great job by Cooper, and then, again, good job by Fagan, moving without the ball. And again, I think it's just as great when your guards have high IQ and they're driving to the basket. They're drawing so much defense, and then they're freeing up the post players and they're identifying them to knock down the shot.
It's been a team effort today. All 12 players have scored for South Carolina. They lead Liberty 79-33. Everyone having fun on Kids Takeover Day here in Columbia. South Carolina leads Liberty 79-33. It's been a struggle for the Flames, Brett. We talked about the struggles of Liberty, and we had a really nice conversation with Coach Green during the week. Asked him a little bit about coaching at Liberty, and he was honest with us. He said, you know, a lot of times there's perception, there's reality, and they don't match up. He really wanted us to stress that the perception of Liberty University, it's a bit misunderstood. You know, they always have to deal with a lot of negative media, but he said Liberty, it's a great, loving environment. Perception sometimes off base and misunderstood. You're quick to get rocks thrown at you, but it's a great environment, and people come and experience it. The reality changes. So by no way are we perfect, but in 24 years here, I really love being at Liberty.
Yeah, and absolutely, and I think if you have when there are certain perceptions that people who haven't been in that environment have, you know, I think it is important to stress that, hey, we actually are a loving environment. You know, if you come here, you see something different than what the narrative may be projected out. And, you know, I can get kudos to Coach Green. You know, I can imagine, you know, someone being there for so long and being successful if that, you know, environment was not there.
Watkins gets the basket for the Gamecocks after the make from Berkman on the other end. Berkman was your player to watch, and she now has 15.
Yeah, she's definitely, like I said, have come back. She was struggling a little bit, but number 22, Bailey, came back, or started off the team where we thought Berkman was going to spearhead the team, but she came back and, kept them in the game.
Yeah, both been playing with 4 fouls. Whistle on a foul that's going to be called on South Carolina. It's going to go against Ashlyn Watkins. Her first. We're going to use this as immediate timeout. 4:03 left to go. South Carolina leads Liberty 81-35. Welcome back inside Colonial Life Arena. South Carolina with the lead over Liberty, 81-35. Dawn Staley was a bit concerned coming into this one. She said, Liberty runs a good offense. They're calculating what they do. They shoot threes, and they have the big inside that shoots over 60% from the floor. Berkman certainly has done that. She has 15 points, 5 of 8, but the shooting threes part, Liberty 0 for 12 from 3 today. South Carolina 6 for 13. And right when you go against a team that's better than you, number 1 team in the nation's, three-point shooting can be that great equalizer. It hasn't been there today for the Flames.
Absolutely, as you mentioned before, as an equalizer, if you're not shooting and not making the 2-pointers, when you're making the 3-pointers, it definitely adds momentum and obviously adds to scoring. And Liberty hasn't been able to get it to connect today, which again has not necessarily worked out in their favor.
So they trail by a wide margin. Under 4 to go. Williams trying to get it to Berkman inside. She does. She is blocked. That's Fagan again.
What an aggressive play.
Cooper in the corner. Now 10 seconds for Raven Johnson. Bree Hall makes a move, and she's fouled by Dee Brown. Second foul for the redshirt senior from Chicago. They send Bree Hall to the line. Former Ohio Miss Basketball, Wayne High School's all-time leading scorer. Bree Hall hits the first. Look at the foul from Brown. Can't get the roll. Off the glass, no good for Williams. And now Olivia Thompson checks in for South Carolina, to the delight of the fans here inside Colonial Life Arena. The last Gamecock to check in today. They've used their entire roster. Everyone has scored, so we'll see if Olivia can get on the score sheet as well.
Sure, yeah, again, it just goes, it goes to show how Coach talked before about bench production, and you continue to see it over and over again, and it works out even especially for the younger players to get some experience. As we talked about before, somewhere in the third quarter, it was sophomores and freshmen on the floor, and they were playing, and I think again getting them those looks early before conference play, getting them those reps. Actually, again, here you have sophomore, well, except for Thompson, a young group of players on the floor, getting these reps in before conference play is very, very important.
Thompson, a good three-point shooter. All 11 of her shots this season are from 3. She's hit a couple, one against Stanford, one against Hampton. One against Stanford was a big one, helped change the momentum in that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cooper on the drive. She'll feed Fagan.
And number 2 for Cooper and Fagan. dynamic duo. Cooper just has an ability to draw so much defense, and again, for her to dish it off to Fagan finish, again, a classic textbook move.
Cooper, a really good passer. She can fill it up as well, a 3,000-point scorer in high school. And there's Cooper on the steal.
Yeah, she realized that she had Watkins. She was going to pass it out to Watkins, but realized that she lost hand of the dribble. She realized that her mistake really quickly, did a little self-chuckle.
So an 84-35 lead for the Gamecocks as we approach 2 minutes to play. And the block from Johnson. Here's Berkman.
Again, good finish by Berkman. And the one thing I love about this Liberty team is that they do not give up. They've continued to play hard, not allow easy baskets to go. And, that's what you still find from a championship team.
Berkman with 4 fouls. The starter still on the floor, trailing by a wide margin, continuing to produce for Liberty. Jump ball called into possession arrow in favor of the Flames. Here's Coach Green. Early on the job, Coach Green talked about a personal goal in Liberty, being at Liberty. He wanted it to be a 50-year program, one that would develop women of excellence who would impact the world for the next 50 years. I really love that. Now, almost halfway through those 50 years, still on the job. It's coming to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, to have a coach that cares about their players on and off the floor. You think it is easy to find, but it's just not. And he talked about, again, loving his job for the time that he's been there and really trying to set a different culture for the players to benefit on the floor as well as off the floor.
Cooper pulls up. No good. Fagan with the putback. Fagan, a career high 14 points.
She's making that look too easy.
And a stoppage here. Some new Flames checking in. Emily Howard, the redshirt freshman center. She wears number 14. Caroline Shirey as well. She wears number 11. Good size. Howard goes 6'5", Shirey goes 6'3". Third game of the season for those two. Nia Stallings in as well. She wears number 2, redshirt sophomore from Greensboro, her 5th game of the season. There's the steal for Raven Johnson. All alone, up ahead, off the glass and in.
Nice. Just nice finish. Nice, again, aggressive play by Raven Johnson to get the finish in transition.
This is Stallings, no good. Remain with Liberty. Liberty team that averages 65 points per game this season. They're at 39 today, going up against top defense in the country.
All right, South Carolina seems to be hitting that mark at, or actually going a little bit over, averaging 82 a game, and here tonight having 88.
Inside. And that'll do it. South Carolina defeats Liberty 88-39. Gamecocks shoot 50% from the field. Liberty just 27. That stifling defense for the Gamecocks holding the offense of the Flames in check. Gamecocks improved to 9-0 overall, 5-0 here inside Colonial Life Arena. And Liberty drops to 3-5, 1-2 in true road games. They have a couple losses on neutral court. Brett, your final thoughts for both teams?
Again, just Carolina bench production, something that, is it's a continuing narrative. When you have that much many players to be able to step into it. It's just amazing. And for Liberty to come in, again, we thought Maya Berkman was going to start off the game, but it looks like number 22 Bailey kind of stepped in to get them on the boards early, and they fought all the way through. Again, at no point did they feel like there was a sense that they actually just gave up on the play. They continued to fight through and continue to work on some things, and as Coach said, it's going to be a valuable game for them. And back to Carolina, getting those players, sophomores and freshmen, some turns, some exposure, some reps is just really good.
Limestone next up for Liberty. For South Carolina, South Dakota State and Sioux Falls, a neutral site game. And then Sunday, December 18th against Charleston Southern. We'll have that for you right here on SEC Plus at 2 p.m. For Brett Ball and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Weinstein saying so long from Columbia, South Carolina, a winner over Liberty, 88-39.